Hot news: Cal Fire Tubbs fire caused by private electrical system. The Sacramento Bee. January 24, 2019, 12:40 p.m. For more than a year, lawyers representing wildfire survivors have been suing PGE over the Tubbs fire, at the time the deadliest in California history. On Thursday, Pacific Gas and Electric Co. was exonerated, a rare victory for a utility over a staggering number of wildfire lawsuits. California fire investigators concluded the Tubbs fire, which swept through Sonoma and Napa counties in October 2017, was caused by an electrical problem on private property. After more than a year, PGE stock, which had plummeted since the November Camp Fire, shot up within minutes of the announcement, and closed at $13.95 a share, nearly doubling Thursday. PGE has, for the most comprehensive local coverage, subscribe today. Following the Cal Fire report, PGE declined to say whether it still plans to file for bankruptcy, but said the investigators' conclusion doesn't erase the company's troubles. Regardless of today's announcement, PGE still faces extensive litigation, significant potential liabilities and a deteriorating financial situation. Government. Gavin Newsom, the deadliest of the 2017 fires, the Tubbs fire started October 8, killing 22 people and destroying more than 5,600 structures, many of them in Santa Rosa. A total of 4. Until Thursday, the Tubbs fire was the only major 2017 Northern California wildfire in which a cause had not been identified. In its much-anticipated report, Cal Fire said its inspectors isolated the sole ignition point to a private residence on Bennett Lane in Calistoga, a small Napa Valley city northeast of Santa Rosa. Investigators, after a thorough, systematic investigation, taking into account witness statements, opinions of experts, physical evidence, collected electronic data and fire direction indicators, the specific origin area of the Tubbs fire is near the primary residential structure and immediate area surrounding the structure, Cal Fire's investigator wrote. During my investigation, Cal Fire said earlier this year that sagging PGE power lines were responsible for at least 12 of the 2017 wildfires in Northern California. PGE attorneys previously said their review of evidence at the Tubbs fire showed that the failed equipment that sparked the inferno did not belong to PGE, but was on private property. In a federal court, Cal Fire didn't name her in the report but listed the same address in Calistoga that PGE cited. Zinc could not be in the report. Cal Fire Battalion Chief John Martinez explicitly ruled out PGE's lines and poles that supplied power to the Calistoga property as the fire's ignition source. However, two lawyers suing PGE on behalf of Tubbs survivors, Steve Campora and Dario Di Vitaldi, said they couldn't comment on Cal Fire's findings or how it would affect their cases because they had not seen the report. Cal Fire spokesman Scott McLean said the fire destroyed the home and other structures on the Calistoga property, making it hard to determine a precise cause. Looking at the burn patterns, it was determined it went back to that specific property, he said. If the cause is because there was no determination of criminality, Cal Fire will not forward the investigative report to the district attorneys in Napa and Sonoma counties. PGE has told the Securities and Exchange Commission that it could face liabilities of as much as $30 billion over the 2017 and 2018 wildfires, including $10 billion from the 2017 fires. It hasn't offered. Blue Mountain Capital Management, a PGE Corp shareholder that's been protesting the utility's bankruptcy plans, said Cal Fire's conclusion is yet another example of why the company shouldn't be rushing to file for bankruptcy, which would be totally unnecessary and bad for all stakeholders. Sonoma County Supervisor James Gore surveys devastation of the Santa Rosa fires in his district on October 14, 2017. This. January 24, 2019, 05:39 p.m. Investigators say a 2017 wildfire that killed 22 people in Northern California wine country was caused by a private electrical system, not Pacific Gas Electric Corp equipment. For the most comprehensive local coverage, subscribe today. Real-time updates and all local stories you want right in the palm of your hand.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.